Hi everyone, I'm Sophie Latouillère. I'm the head of international affairs of Isipca. I'm very pleased to join you today. I will talk to you about the higher education in perfumery, fragrance, and cosmetics and flavors. So Isipca has 50 years of creation, of existence. We were created in 1970 by Mr. Jean-Jacques Guerlain. He is a descendant of the founder of the iconic house of Guerlain. We are located in Versailles, Paris, and Grasse. Grasse is located in the south of France. It's a great cradle of perfumery in the south of France. And every year we host about 600 students, including 25 to 30% international students from over the world. And we have more than half international students in our English taught graduate, that means master level, or postgraduate, postmaster programs. So we are located in Versailles, near the Palace of Versailles. Maybe you've heard about it, or you visited it when you visited France. We give some courses in Grasse, in the south of France, where you can visit some works like the perfumery of Fragonard, which is very famous in the world. And we are located not far from Paris, which is the capital city of Versailles of France, where you can visit the Eiffel Tower or the Louis Vuitton flagship on the Champs-Élysées Avenue. Paris is a capital city of fashion, arts, and exhibitions. We provide French and English taught undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate programs in business, B2C or B2B, and sciences in perfumery. That means fine and consumer fragrances, or cosmetics, white and colored products, I will explain after, and flavorings with food applications that we call food flavors. So let's talk about our scientific degree programs first. Our scientific degree programs are in English. They address scientific background. So if you have a bachelor in chemistry or chemical engineering, biology, biochemistry, pharmacy, botany, or engineering, you can apply to the European Fragrance and Cosmetics Master. It's a European university degree with a threefold credential. It's a partnership with the universities of Versailles, Saint-Quentin in France, and Padova in Italy. That means that the first year you will study in France, cosmetics and perfumery at the University of Versailles and Isipca. And the second year you will study in Italy, business and management at the University of Padova. Another one is the graduate program in scent design and creation. It's a partnership with the American leader, which is called IFF. That means International Flavors and Fragrances. You will study raw materials, perfumery knowledge, fine fragrance formulation, and consumer fragrance formulation. So I will give you some details about these two programs. So first, the European Fragrance and Cosmetics Master. It allows you to acquire a thorough knowledge of perfumery, raw materials, and cosmetics. You will learn the stage of the product development, you will pilot a marketing project, you will achieve competitive intelligence and benchmark. So the first year you will study in Versailles, as I told you, cosmetic topics for 30%, perfumery topics for 30%, scientific topics for 20%, registration and quality for 10%, and perfumery, and you will develop a perfumery and cosmetic general culture for 10% of the courses. That means that you will have a great knowledge. It's a comprehensive program about cosmetics and perfumery. So you will learn the techniques first, and after you will join the University of Padova in Italy, where you will learn accounting and finance, organization management, marketing management, and customer behavior, operations management, advanced topics in management, strategic management of the enterprise and business plan. And of course, you will learn about the new product development and the environmental management and regulatory affairs, operations management in the industry. So everything is focused on the perfumery and cosmetics, the first year on techniques and sciences, and the second year more about the marketing and business in the sector. So that means that you will learn double competencies, you will get double competencies, you will get double mobility in France and in Italy, in Europe, and you will study for 3 institutions. The other program at the graduate level, so after a bachelor degree in science, it's a graduate program in sound design and creation. It's a 3-year program. The first year is represents for you a foundation year when you will study and learn raw materials. So as you can see here, the raw material means a kit of 400 synthetics and natural samples. And you will learn about perfumery knowledge. So this first year is very important. You will learn about the raw materials. You will learn about perfume samples, about 200 samples. You will study in the perfumer's laboratory. You will learn about learn about the raw material stability, and you will study the fundamentals of marketing and the international fragrance market. We can't talk about perfumery and market without international regulatory environment, which is very important. But as I said, it's a foundation year, so you will learn the perfume history and the stories, and you will visit the Osmothèque. The Osmothèque is located on the campus of Isipca in Versailles. It's a historical conservatory of all perfumes. So they have very ancient perfumes, and they will tell you about the history of perfumes and how they keep them. And of course, you will develop self-awareness and personal and professional skills, including the soft skills. So the first year, you have an internship to complete about consumer facing. The second year, it's a focus on raw material, because we can't learn about 400 raw materials the first year only. So you have 3 years to know them, but the first 2 years are very important for raw materials, because you study fragrance and you need raw materials to study and to compose fragrance. So the second year, you will study fine fragrance. Fine fragrance is what you wear on yourself. So fine fragrance chemistry is very important. The basic perfumery formulation. So you will have a kit of about 800 basic accords samples, and you will have to study them, to know them, and maybe to reproduce some of them. So it's very important. During this year, you will have an introduction to flavor aromas, that's food flavors or flavors for fine fragrances. And the third year is a great year about consumer fragrance formulation. That means, for instance, what you put on your head, what you put on your body, what you put in your house, fragrance or perfumed candles, for instance. It's a consumer fragrance formulation. So that means that this program is a comprehensive program about perfumery, knowledge, raw materials, fine fragrance, and consumer fragrance. The first year, so you will complete an internship about consumer facing. The second year, you will have an internship at an IFF creative center in the world. And the third year, you will have an internship. It's an external one. What you want to do in a compliance, full compliance with your program and the learning goals. So after a master's degree or after a master first year degree, you can apply to a postgraduate program. We have 4 postgraduate programs. Generally, there are 1-year blending learning programs or full online programs. So the first year, it's a postgraduate programs in fragrance expertise, formulation and applications. It's located in Versailles and Grasse in the south of France. It's a cooperation with the University of Côte d'Azur, which is the main university in the south of France. And we have another one dedicated to cosmetic expertise, formulation and applications. It's located in Versailles. And we have a third one in food flavoring, so flavoring with food applications. With food formulation and applications, and it's located in Versailles. The fourth one, it's a specialized master in regulatory affairs management of fragrances and cosmetics. It's 100% online. It's a partnership with EBI, which is a very famous and iconic biology school. It's a member of Conférence des Grandes Écoles, which is a high-level recognition in France for engineering and management schools. So these 3 programs dedicated to expertise, formulation and applications in fragrance or cosmetic or food flavoring help you to deepen your knowledge of markets specialized in fragrance or cosmetics or flavors. That means that we are looking for students with a strong motivation and a first knowledge and the first-rate experience in this sector or whatever, a very good knowledge of the market. So we don't expect any professional experience, but we expect strong motivation and very, very good knowledge of markets and strong motivation. You will learn about the key players and consumer trends. You will acquire an expertise in olfaction, gustation, ingredients, raw materials, and formulation or composition. You will understand the formulation or composition process, and you will uphold safety regulation and execute the quality processes. You will develop your know-how in a company. So have you understood? We are a vocational professional school, so you will have to complete a 5 to 6 months internship or work placement. It can be a fixed-term contract because we consider that after a master's degree, it can be a springboard to employment. So we accept the fixed-term contract too. So we have also French third degree programs for scientific and business backgrounds. For the scientific backgrounds, you can study the specialized technician in laboratories in perfume, cosmetics, and flavorings. We have professional licenses. That means we have professional bachelors too, about application and analysis. We have a 3-year program, manager the process, that means process manager in creation, development of perfume, cosmetics, and flavors products. It's generally the 3-year program after a bachelor. So the first year, it's a full-time year. You study the foundation of the 3 sectors, and the second and the third year, you study one option. It can be perfume or cosmetics or flavors. And we have a master about the natural raw materials in 2 years. So business degree programs in French, it's a BTS, it's a 2 year after the equivalent of A-level. It's about commercial management, and we have 4 options: perfumes, cosmetics, fashion, and luxury. It's a 2-year program. And we have another one, it's about the commercial in the company. And the last one, it's the second year of the master. The first year you can study everywhere. Generally, you study at the University of Cergy-Pontoise in France. And the second year is dedicated to international marketing in perfumery and cosmetics. It's a one-year program. It's a cooperation with the University of Cergy-Pontoise and with Isipca, which is a leading management school in France, member of the Conférence des Grandes Écoles, which is the higher recognition for academic level and management schools in France. So all our French taught degree programs are mainly in apprenticeship, I will explain, but we have some programs in full-time, so accessible to all students, whatever the country of origin. For apprenticeship, for non-European students, you can access to the apprenticeship after 1 year in France. So you can study, for instance, French in France for 1 year, and after you can reach an apprenticeship program. So we provide a cutting-edge scientific and professional equipment. We have 15 laboratories dedicated to formulation, sensory analysis and evaluation. We have an olfactory hall with 3 raw materials in addition of all the kits and materials we can provide in each program. We have formulation equipment available for all students, perfume organ, pipettes, paper blotters, bakers, and weighing scale. And we have cutting-edge analytical equipment as gas chromatograph or mass spectrometer. So we have dedicated laboratories for fragrance, for instance. We have specific formulation laboratories for fine and consumer fragrances, and we have an evaluation analysis laboratories, including specific cabins to evaluate consumer fragrances. We have specific cosmetic laboratories dedicated to white products and colored products. So we have a white light laboratory for making colored makeup products like lipstick, powder, foundation, eyeshadow, or mascara. And the laboratory for making white skincare products is more dedicated to cleanser and toner, moisturizer, cream, exfoliator, and mask. Our specific flavoring laboratory is dedicated to food flavoring composition and applications. For instance, if you like ice creams, vanilla ice creams, you can have an exercise at Isipca to make the vanilla ice cream. And we have a specific sensory analysis laboratory, which includes cabins with specific lighting, red or green light, to avoid being influenced by the colors of the products. So just to give you an overview of your working environment, a great asset of Isipca, one of the great assets of Isipca, is that we provide you with the equipment you will find in companies. So you will be all prepared for performing in companies. We have a faculty, of course, which is composed of 100 practitioners, researchers, alumni, visiting professors. They have a high-level expertise in sensory, chemical analysis, olfactory, formulation and evaluation, business B2C and business B2B. Our practitioners and professors are more than professors. They transfer and they share their experience, and they advise you about your career plan, where you can get an internship, and the trends and the trendy brands we can find everywhere in the world. So we build academic partnerships in Europe, in Asia, and Middle East. We are holder of the Erasmus Charter for higher education, and we offer the possibility of gap year in the postgraduate program expertise in cooperation with your university of origin. We welcome degree seekers, free movers, and we build exchange programs, and we build Erasmus cooperation in international mobility credits. And we have a specific program, it's a new one, about UP program dedicated to summer schools and online courses. It can give you the opportunity to have a first-rate experience, to I would say, to check your orientation, or to have an upgrading program before applying. We have a great multicultural community. It's about 30 to 40 different nationalities on our small campus. We provide many supports before, upon your arrival, during your studies, and after your graduation. So before your arrival, you have a generic email address, which is open to you. It's international@isipca-lafabrique.fr. We have an international welcome pack, which is open to you, including information on visa and housing search. We have virtual Q&A sessions on demand. We have an administrative support. We provide you with installment payments. We have banking services in cooperation with BNP Paribas, which is a leading bank in France. And we have a bilingual glossary of daily life, which is provided once you have confirmed your registration. It's an English and French bilingual glossary of daily life. Upon your arrival, we organize a live induction week with all students from our international programs. We have an on-campus orientation day. Here you have the photo of the last freshers. And we organize a Paris luxury tour. It's an optional tour if you want to discover Paris regarding the luxury and the fashion designers. During your studies, we have many teams available and accessible for you. We have our academic team, of course, who is composed of one academic director, 2 program managers, and 100 teachers, lecturers, professors, and professional practitioners. Our studies team is composed of 1 director of studies, 3 assistants, and 1 planning officer. Very important for your schedule. Our corporate relations teams include 1 director, 1 career center, who is a key player of your studies to find your internship, and 3 business engineers who build relationships with many companies, hundreds of companies in France, but also worldwide. And you have, of course, international office, including 1 head of international affairs and global diversity officer. I am also the officer for disabled students, and we have a European mobility project officer. After your graduation, career and networks, we have an association including 6,000 alumni around the world. They offer you an active network meetings, and they help you to connect each other. And we have, of course, France alumni, the essential network in your country, bringing together many French alumni and local alumni who studied in France. So a lot of networks and parties. A good point for you is how to finance your studies. So if you are interested in a French taught program in apprenticeship, after 1 year in France for non-European students, the apprenticeship program is financed by the company you work for, because it's an alternative period between companies and schools. The company you work for will pay your tuition fees through the apprenticeship tax. And after, for all students in full time, so my best advice is to browse the Campus France catalog and ask the French embassy and visit your Campus France office in your country. and we offer installment payments too. And you can ask our banking partner, the BNP Paribas, to find, for instance, a student loan. I have a few seconds, and after I will give you the opportunity to ask your questions. I will be very pleased to answer. So our next main event is on the 28th of January 2023. It's in Versailles at Isipca. It's our open day, and during this day, you are free to visit our locations, our premises, our laboratories, to meet our students, some alumni, the teams I told you before, and to talk about the current students and share their experience. You can contact me on the generic email address or my own email address. I will be very pleased to answer you. We will open all applications on the 25th of November. So all brochures and applications form will be available on our website, which is isipca.fr. My best advice, it's a human size school, so my best advice is to secure your spot as soon as possible by sending your application. Whatever you have, not all the proofs and documents you have to provide. You have to start your application process, and you will be registered as a pre-applicant, which is very, very important. Thank you for your attention. So I will stop to share my slides and to see if you have any questions for me. Please do it. You can send me your questions. I will be very pleased to answer. Maybe you would like to get information about the French courses. So of course, if you study in French, you have to get a good level. So in French, we ask a B2 level, and in English, generally we ask TOEFL or IELTS is good. And for each program, we request a C1 generally, B2 plus can be. So for IELTS, generally it's 6.5. And for the TOEFL IBT, it's 85. For the French courses, some programs, graduate programs, have French courses, including in the programs. The only programs which have no French courses are the postgraduate program, because they are one-year programs. So it's a little bit short, you know. So it's but you can. My best advice is for you to learn French a little bit before coming. So you have generally in each country the French Alliance, the French Institute. You can ask the Campus France office in your country. And after, the main way to learn French and to improve your French is to meet the French and native students at school, and to build some opportunities for you to share the experience, to visit a museum with them, to participate in some student life opportunities like parties and so on, and to share their experience and to learn from them. You know that the best teacher in a French school is French students, because they share a lot, and they have the same age you have, and it's very important to create your own community of French students and other international students from other countries. This is the main purpose and spirit we offer and we develop at Isipca. Any more questions for me? We have also summer schools and online courses in English. So you can visit our website, isipca.fr. You can follow them. You can improve and your knowledge, and it will be helpful for you to get your good orientation for the future. So I have a question. If I have only interested in perfumes and cosmetics perfume, whatever the EFCM is full 2-year program, so we can choose. But if you are interested in perfumery only, for instance, you can, of course, apply to our graduate program in partnership with IFF in Scent Design and Creation. As I told you, it's a 3-year program. The first year is a foundation year about raw material and the fragrance. And the second and the third year are dedicated to fine fragrance and consumer fragrance formulations and markets. If you are just interested in perfumes and cosmetics, it can be for you, for instance, a summer school. We have a summer school combining the both options, but it's not diploma, it's not certificate, it's just attendance, but it can be an option for you. And after, if you choose one of the options, you have the postgraduate program dedicated in perfumery or cosmetics. Other question? We have no on-campus student accommodation, but we help you to find accommodation in Paris, Versailles, or surrounding Versailles or surrounding Isipca, whatever. About the cost, generally, I've been asked about the cost. It's about 700 euro or 1,000 euro per month on the accommodation. But I advise you to have a co-location, co-accommodation. It's a good point. And you can share accommodation with other students of your program, or you can ask before coming if a student of Isipca has opportunity for you. Yes, you have last question for me, maybe? Okay, so if you haven't any question for me, I'd like to, yes, you have question for me. What are the opening and closing times of the open day? Good question. It depends on the schedule. Generally, it's about 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., but it depends on the day. It depends on the course. It depends. So you remember I told you that you share your time between sometimes the University of Versailles and Isipca. So it depends on the University of Versailles too, and it depends on the project you have to work on. Okay, so you're welcome. Thank you everyone for attending this webinar, and thank you to Campus France and the organizer for having me today. Okay, if I have a conclusion word to tell you, it's Isipca remains the reference in the world for perfumery, cosmetics, and flavorings. So if you want to get a good reference on your CV, it can be a great opportunity for you. Okay, so for all the students around the world, we have a students' union who is available and accessible, and will welcome you to Isipca and share the student life experience at Isipca in Versailles, in Paris, and in France, whatever. So we hope to see you at Isipca very soon. Thank you, everyone.